Next, we're going to be sowing Orlaya Grandiflora, and this is the last seed that we're going to sow this side of winter. We won't sow anything else until we get to mid-February when the light levels return. So go and grab your seeds. They're in the fridge if you're looking for them. Speaking of a great display, I am absolutely mesmerised by this. I've taken some recordings actually, so come autumn, the autumn jump starter, when we're sowing this, I can play them back to you. We can get all excited about what's coming. But it's just heaven, isn't it? Absolute heaven. And a vase of just Orlaya Grandiflora by itself, you'd be literally taking this very bed into the kitchen with you. Orlaya Grandiflora is extremely hardy, and I do find that the seeds germinate much more easily when we're experiencing a chilly autumn. So I've got high hopes for this year. It's been much cooler than it was last year. So if you struggled in the past, but the seeds did eventually come through, that's all it was. Because we're gardening with Mother Nature, we're out in the seasons, we don't have climate control greenhouses, then we are at the mercy of the elements, and we will just have to be patient. So here we have our Orlaya Grandiflora seedlings, and you'll see from the packet they're nice and chunky, so they're quite easy to handle. So here are my seeds, and I'm just going to sow one seed per cell onto the surface of the compost. I'm going to give it a little press. Oh, there's two there. Separate those. I'm going to give it a little press to make sure it makes good contact with the compost so that the moisture travels to the seed. But I'm going to leave them uncovered because I found that light does aid germination with your Orlaya seedlings. It's also nice and easy to see where you've sown and where you haven't, isn't it? So we just place our seed here in the greenhouse in a light bright location and let the autumn fluctuating temperatures work their magic. Fast forward 3 weeks and you can see that germination is occurring. It is erratic, a bit patchy, but they are coming. So finally, on my request list is to have a look at my Orlaya Grandiflora. So you can see this is my Orlaya. The germination is patchy, but they are coming. Look, that one's only just come up. They've got really long strappy seed leaves. And then these are the true leaves that are coming through now. They look really similar to wild carrot. Let me show you. So this basking in the sunshine is my wild carrot. And again, the germination is patchy. Can you see? Look, and then you think you've got an empty cell, so you sow another seed, and then the minute you do that, the original pops up. Never throw away a seed tray. I've given up on so many seed trays thinking, nah, nothing's going to happen, and then suddenly the temperatures plunge, gets really cold, and then we get a nice little lift in the temperatures and everything germinates. And you thought that you were struggling for seedlings, and then before you know it, you've got them coming out of your ears. So never give up on a seed tray. You will be surprised. I thought I'd just show you the Orlaya. So it's been booted right outside, but it is under these frames which has sheltered it from the lashing rain that we've had, which would have washed away all my top dressing of compost. And by the time the cold weather comes, it would have been here a few days, so the temperature would have come down and down and down slowly, giving the plant a chance to get used to it, rather than chucking it straight outside into the freezing cold temperature and giving it a bit of a shock. Well, that has been the coldest night for a long time. Hopefully this cold snap is almost over. I've pulled the big guns out today. The Orlaya are absolutely not batting an eye at these cold temperatures. They actually look better for being outside in the fresh air. They've got protection from the worst of the rain and snow, and quite a bit of shelter from the wind. It's very windy, but you can just see they're only moving a tiny bit because they're in this sheltered spot. Oh, I'm freezing. I'm going in. Rather than crouch in the cold, I've just bought a couple of trays of Orlaya to show you. See? It's ice cubes, absolutely frozen solid, but You can trust your Auntie Zoe. These are fine down to more than minus 20 degrees. So they don't even look upset, do they? Is that the best you can do, weather? That's what they're saying. So next on the list to plant out in the garden is Orlaya Grandiflora. We're going to be planting these plugs 22 centimetres apart. So here is the Orlaya Grandiflora, and you can see we've also got the first flower spikes starting to grow. Now, it'll be a while before it flowers yet, but they're on their way. Now these should probably get to about this height here. So about half the height of the carrot. That's why we need to be careful with the seedlings. Orlaya Grandiflora is one of the first of the filler flowers to bloom in my garden. It flowers alongside the sweet rocket, which is slightly earlier, but they do cross over, and the agrostemma, so they make a wonderful 1, 2, 3 for your spring weddings and vase arrangements. So a quick fast forward, it's the following morning and the flowers have been conditioning in the bucket of water in the cool of the flower shed overnight. They are fully hydrated, nothing is wilting, and they are now ready to arrange. Always, you can find more information on sowing and growing Orlaya Grandiflora in your Autumn Jumpstarter Handbook. And there's a quick reference section here to tell you to not cover the seeds and pre-chill.